Welcome to Happy's Humble Burger Farm. What would you like?
I'd like a Happy's Deluxe patty. No tomato, please.
All right, here you go. Pre-made it for you.
Thank you. But this has tomato in it.
Oh no, I'm gonna get eaten by Happy. No.
Welcome to the game playlist.
My name is Akshan, and in the spirit of today's game, my favorite farm animal is the goose. Next to me.
My name is
So
Sashan.
you're saying?
My name is Sashan, and my favorite farm animal is the portly pig.
Perfect. All right. Next up, the flame to the right.
I am Anuk, and my favorite animal is the cow. And I'm not good. I don't know the name.
Humble
Perfect.
No
heifer.
name for it. Yes, humble heifer.
And then next to him is
Yeah. My name is Dilantha, and I hate farm animals.
wonderful.
Congrats.
All the more reason to play today's game, which I picked, being Happy's Humble Burger Farm. But before that, let's go into what this podcast is.
Before that, Dilantha, are you vegan?
Am I vegan?
No, he
No.
hates
You
farm
hate-
animals. So
I
he
don't like
enjoys
farm
eating them.
animals. I have no problem eating them, but absolutely no problem there. But I'm not. I don't like farm
Just not a
animals.
fan of them.
Maybe it's inspired by today's game. Maybe it's just personal opinion.
Maybe it is.
It's something.
So sadly, Dilantha did not have any choice. He had to play this game because today we're the Game Playlist podcast. We pick games for each other and we have to play them. And today's game was picked by me. Action. The games today is in the title Happy's Humble Burger Farm, not barn, farm. And the game is a horror game. It's in the horror genre, definitely. It's got some other things as well, but mainly horror game. Let's call it. You play as a fast order cook at Happy's Humble Burger Farm, a burger joint set in this mysterious dystopian world where weird stuff is happening all the time. You go through a daily process of waking up, going to work, taking orders from the lifeless customers that come through, and all the while, creepy stuff happens as you attempt to fulfill the orders. Doesn't help that when you fail to cook the orders too many times, Happy will come to hunt you down. So you best ignore all that weirdness and get to work. I put haha dice. All right.
Just reading off the script.
Yes. I mean, you think this was improvised? But anyway, there is a game that preludes this, which is not considered a demo, but it is a demo basically, called Happy's Humble Burger Barn, which if you're interested in the game, you can give that a try, but you don't need to play that to play this or even listen to this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's only half an hour also, and it's free, so
it's only half an hour and it's free. So if you are interested in this game, but you still want to check it out, try that. But it is different. It is still a bit different. They've upgraded since then. Anyway, so Happy's Humble Burger Farm. Let's first get a vibe check from everybody. How's everyone feel about this game? Dilantha?
Dilantha.
Well, I mean, we haven't really spoken about it. I don't think we spoke about it when we picked the games as well. But just for our listeners to know, I'm not a big fan of horror stuff. Don't like horror movies. Don't like horror games. Just can't deal with
Anti-horror.
most of it. Anti-horror, yeah. So one of the reasons why Akshan picked this is because he's not truly my friend. Is the only reason I can imagine he would do such a thing. I mean, vibe check. Obviously, I'm rattled. I'm not feeling too this thing about it, but I still, played the game, finished it, somehow got through it all. So we'll
So
talk about it.
You have thoughts. You know what we're talking about. It's not like you You read the wiki on it. It's just
No. Well,
just your
well,
vibes. Your vibes on the game are just
no
no.
vibes on the game side. No.
Oh god. Anuk and Seshan, y'all are more in the same courtyard of vibes, I imagine.
Yeah, we're fine with it. I'm fine with it at least. No issues with the game in its core gameplay mechanics and stuff. Horror wise, not so bad. I wouldn't say for me at least, it's not the scariest thing ever. So,
Mhm.
jump scares wise, we'll talk about it, but it's fine.
All right, Seshan.
To quote another one of our episodes, this game was truly a journey.
Oh, no.
It was
I
This is like the second or third time I've heard
Fourth
this.
episode, if I'm a second.
Anyway,
It's
continue.
not about the destination, it's about the
about
journey.
the
The journey is
exactly
what is worth all this.
So it starts off like you expecting no. Let me finish. It starts off with you expecting a particular thing. You feel like the game sets a specific premise as to what you think the game is going to be about, especially with the tutorial and stuff like that. But then as the story slowly unravels itself, you learn that it's much, much more. And
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's not a genre, really, what I'm about to describe, but it's my favorite kind of thing for anything, movie, music, games, which is it is weird as shit in the beginning. It doesn't make any sense. And then as it goes on, it's like, and it just makes sense by the
yeah,
somehow makes the weirdness make sense. I love it. I love it.
it's like it reminds me of like when I watched Hardcore Henry with you.
Yeah, hardcore Henry, definitely. Oh god, fun movie. Check it out. It's not a horror movie. All right, so let's first talk about the vibe of the game. The vibes of the game, and that's in the tone, in the style, in the look of it, in the toe of it. It's a cyber, not funky, cyber,
That was our previous episode.
cyber bomber cyberpunk. It's a cyber retro punky feel.
Is it?
It's
No, I don't,
Is
I,
it?
I I don't think there's any
It's-
punk.
it's
There's
no cyber to it. I just think it's
There's
very.
no, yeah.
it's like Portal, like Portal where you have this old.
yes,
Uh,
Portal and like Blade Runner in its vibe because it's technology that's futuristic, but it's also retro.
There's futuristic technology in this game.
Yes, there's a
Yeah,
head that.
Well,
Spoiler alert.
okay. You mean okay? Okay.
It's
No. I understand.
You get what I mean?
But let's just say that the starting vibe is very.
it's a sci-fi.
different to the ending.
No, not the ending vibe. Like I'm saying, completely ignore the sci-fi-ness. We'll talk about that once we get to the story. But I'm saying like the initial vibe that you get is more like the whole like town, like the like an 80s 90s sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark dystopia.
Dark like a dark dystopian 80s 90s.
You never see the daylight. It's always night.
It's always nighttime, yeah.
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 But there are seasons.
There are seasons. Oh yeah, the snow. I forgot.
That's Halloween as well.
Is that? I've never seen that.
Yeah, I
I've
don't
seen the
think I've seen
pumpkins
that as
actually.
well.
I lied.
Yeah, the pumpkins.
To add to the horror feel, it's very creepy, especially in the beginning when you don't know what everything means. It's just like things are weird. Like there's as soon as you leave your apartment, in the first like most portion of the game, there's a dude walking around, just. Who you later learn his name is Tor. It also makes it weirder. And every time you walk past your door,
Wait, before that. His name is To because his full name is Theodore Edward Oliver something.
Yeah,
Which-
Theodore Oliver Edwards or something. So TOE Tor.
Yeah.
So,
When he walks past your door, he just opens the door if you didn't lock it.
Well,
Yeah, I was reading something in the room and I just heard the door open. I look and Tor's just
yeah,
like,
yeah. I also
"Oh."
noticed that the door opens sometimes automatically, and then Toe walks past. So I didn't put that two and two together, but I did
Toe
notice
and
that
toe
happened.
together.
Didn't put toe and toe together.
But yes,
Toe and do. Yeah.
he it just adds to the weirdness, and then you leave the house, and the world is so like it's a city, but it's also it's weirdly open. This game, you think that you're getting a cooking simulator with horror elements, or horror with has cooking simulator elements, but it's like an open world. Feels almost like a life simulator because you're just walking through. It's like I can buy things at a shop.
yeah, I think when you start the game and you like think of the premise of the game, you feel like it might be very like Five Nights at Freddy-ish, where you're restricted to an area or like a certain location and you can only like operate within that
Go
certain
back and
area.
forth.
But
Yeah,
it turns out that no, you can actually explore things.
yeah. And you go to work, you do the things at work, which we'll get into, and then you leave and you have to go back home. It's never simply
Sounds like my
just
life, right?
wow. It's like
All
living
right.
it's like having a job.
It's like having a real job.
The citizens of the world, also, you just can't interact with them. And one would say that's because they didn't code any interaction, but after, like, as you go through the game, it might be just part of the game that you can't interact with any of them.
Yeah.
It just adds to the weirdness, and you think the game is just going to be weird, but then it gets into things, and we'll get into that. So the game itself, it's very limited stuff, which is you got moving, you got picking up things, you got interacting with things, and you have an inventory as well
And
as
you have
health and energy bars.
making things like burgers.
Oh, you have, yes. Even the making things part, it's not like you go to a menu and you put the things you've collected in there. It's you throw the thing on the grill, you pick up the next thing and throw it onto the.
There's a lot of throwing. There's a lot of throwing stuff
of
on the
Yep.
So we'll get
You
to
will.
I have a gripe with it.
I also got
I have
so
a gripe with
annoyed
the
at
throwing
the
part.
whole
As in, like,
thing.
it's not the way you make
yeah.
Hello, Anu?
the whole making of the burgers is just weird to be at
It was
least.
a pain to you. Yeah. Yeah.
But-
It's so annoying.
It makes it.
But I think we'll get to the cooking part later, right?
Yes. First off, let's just ask about game feel, which is like, did the controls work in the way that you wanted to? Did you ever feel annoyed? Because, for example, one annoyance I had was that crouching was just like it wasn't an animation of crouching. It was just boom, and you crouch. It's like the camera cuts to your knees when you crouch, and it's very disjointing a little bit because it's like you're like I'm blinking without wanting to blink. Uh, Someone's forcing my eyes shut. It's a bit weird. And then when you're crouching, the the picking up items button, it's hard to tell when you're aiming at the right thing to pick it up. And the fact that picking up items is left click was the thing to get used to. Unless you all rebound it.
Here's the thing. One is that like I also found I found the controls a bit jarring because like you said, it was weird because not only did you have mouse one, your left click as an interact button, but you also had E as an interact button. So it was like two interact buttons and kind of like sometimes I would get mixed up.
Yeah, I also didn't know how
Yeah.
to do certain things of like different interactions, right? Like one is
Yeah.
mouse one, then one is mouse two,
Yeah, because like
and
you like when
yeah.
you're eating something, like you pick it up with left click, but then to eat it you do press E.
I agree. Yeah.
I remember I had
Very confusing.
a big problem with. Well, okay, I wouldn't say it's a big problem, but when I first started using burger bombs, I
Mhm.
kept on I kept on throwing the bomb, but it never exploded.
I did that also.
Yeah.
And then I just kept on throwing and throwing and throwing, and nothing happened. And then I realized, oh, it's because there's interact.
Yeah.
You have to throw it and then interact with it.
But
Yeah.
there is another thing about the controls. Apparently, you can't rebind.
Ah,
You
yeah,
can't
I
what?
believe that.
Apparently, you can't
rebind your
rebind
controls.
keys.
You can't read.
You can't?
Apparently, I didn't test it out myself, but
No, you
Um,
can. You can.
did
You
you
can.
rebind something?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you rebound? Okay.
I
never mind.
changed my interact because I couldn't understand why the interaction wasn't working.
Oh,
So
okay.
I changed it. Yeah.
Because I
You
saw
can.
some.
There definitely is rebind for.
Okay, maybe it
Okay.
was the version that. Because I was like watching. I was like watching after I had finished the game. I watched like someone else's somewhat of a review of it, and they were saying that
Gameplay.
like you can't rebind the keys. So maybe it was the
Mm.
older version.
Maybe
Might have been. This is 3 years old ish, this game.
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah.
They would have changed it by now, at
They would
least.
change it. There's a part of me that wonders because of how, like, it's intentionally irritating. Some of the controls, I think. I think because the game wants you to feel oppressed and annoyed. Because we'll get into cooking, but when you're cooking, the things that come to you and annoy you are just there to annoy you. They don't really get in the way in a challenging way. It's just like, let me turn your generator off, and then leave.
Hmm.
So I have a feeling maybe they
But
did
it
that
wasn't,
intentionally to annoy
it wasn't too
you.
much of an annoyance.
Yeah, once you understood it, but you're still just like, oh, please, I'm trying to cook. You
Yeah.
bastard. Yeah. Item yeah, I there were many times where I was like, okay, I'm going to interact with this thing, and I ended up eating the thing in my hand, and I was upset. One thing, because you have to walk back home every time, you can take the bus to get to your place of work, which costs money. But walking back, correct me if I'm wrong, is there a way to get back with the bus? No, right? You have to walk back every
You
time.
walk back.
All right. So
You have to walk back every time.
because I had to walk back every time, I did it so often, I got used to the movement, and the movement has the bunny hopping mechanic. It's not a proper mechanic, but it's where you go faster when you hop and you jump. And if you jump at the right moment, as soon as you hit the ground, that speed just keeps the momentum keeps going. It made walking back entertaining for me because I was trying to. It was almost like a game I was playing for myself as I was doing the mundane task of walking back. It made me realize that if you have good enough, entertaining enough movement, so things like that don't bother me that much. I don't know about you, the rest of you.
I never really had a problem because learned something which helped me not stay low on energy and like constantly keep running fast. If you there-
Coffee.
yes, coffee, but you can get a free unlimited supply.
Of coffee?
From
Yeah.
Tor, right?
You get from Toe.
If you,
Oh,
yeah,
If you go
in
into
Tor's room, yeah.
go into his room, take it, put it in your bag, go out, go back in, repeat.
Oh,
Yeah.
letting people know this. There's a bag that you can get to increase your inventory size. Something I learned after I finished the game.
Oh what? Oh what?
No.
It's like, oh, I can have more than 4 things.
Oh, that must have sucked.
How did you do the Charlie fight without a backpack?
I know. Can you imagine?
Oh my god.
I will get into the Charlie fight, and you can ask me that again if I forget. about this.
Amazing.
That fight. Anyway, so HP and energy. You mentioned the Tor thing, and you can increase your health and your energy with that. And once you realize that, and you're able to, you know where the vending machines are to buy food. Managing health and energy is not too much of a problem, even if you're being chased by something that'll damage you.
Yeah.
It becomes more of a thing to manage because you're like, oh, I have taken health, go eat this. Oh, I need energy, go eat this.
On a side
Uh,
note, if y'all didn't know this, if y'all head into the shower in your apartment, you refresh your energy and your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think that was a note, right? That you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you do that.
tutorial. Maybe the tutorial
Yeah.
forced you to do it or something.
No,
They didn't force you to do it, but I do
Yeah,
they let
remember
you know.
going
But
to
they
the
did
bathroom
mention it.
and then they're like, "Hey, you can shower."
Okay, all right, all right. Money never was a problem for me. Like I always was like, I have enough money to buy this thing.
I
Yeah.
felt
So
like
you always
I
have a
had some
surplus if you know
money.
how to manage.
Ah,
Tell us the of your troubles.
you know. I just wanted to splurge on myself, buy a flat screen TV and stuff like that. But
That's the first time I've ever heard you spending money.
Flat screen TV.
but you see, I had to work some extra shifts.
Ah, really? You don't
Oh,
say.
damn. I had to do that when at the end when I was getting achievements, but I didn't do it. Okay.
You know, you gotta get that bread,
Gotta get that bread.
and I don't mean the burger
Gotta get
bun.
Oh
Hilarious.
gosh. All right. Well, glad that you had an issue with money, or you were fine.
That was okay.
You were okay. All right. Well, let's talk about how you make money, which is by going to work.
Actually, wait,
Cooking.
before you get into the cooking thing, there were some
Yeah,
things that I wanted to bring up about like gameplay related stuff. So one is the backpack. I'm really annoyed at this, in that if you store things in your backpack and you quit the game,
It doesn't
it's
get
lost.
saved.
it does not get saved. But
Oh,
there is
But that
that
makes sense, right? Because
it's for storing items. Why would you not be able to save it?
but the way the game does saving is also very
it's kind of like
It's
in the
very
weird.
story. In
It's
the
very
story
weird,
itself,
yes.
it kind of. But at the same time, then you wouldn't have the backpack every time you wake up.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing, right? It's not that I was like in a random spot and then I decided to quit save the game. That's a different problem which I was gonna bring up later. Is that I went back home, I went to bed, woke up the next day and then quit save. And then I was like, okay, maybe I should just check. And I came back in and it's like, oh, your stuff is gone. And I was like, shit. And
okay.
and
I get
apparently the only way to save stuff in the game is to put it on your bedside table.
it.
Really?
Yes.
What kind of logic is that?
It makes no sense because I took a raw burger patty and left it on there, and for like 3 different times I loaded into the game, it was still there.
Only the bedside table.
Yeah, the bedside tables.
I put food on my kitchen table, and it was there.
I guess
Every
it
time.
saves the state of the apartment.
room?
Yeah.
It saves.
I mean, I would guess
yeah,
so.
it might. And then the
So
other.
basically, what you're saying is the apartment is your save file.
Your apartment is yours,
The
Yeah.
apartment is the ultimate backpack.
but not you. If you have it
Yeah.
in your backpack and you're in your apartment, doesn't come.
The other thing that annoyed me, and I think I mentioned this because I was playing it before the rest of y'all, is that the autosave is really stupid. In that, if you're gonna play until you get back to your apartment, because
there is no autosave. It just saves state only when you
Yeah.
sleep. Yeah.
No, there is an autosave because
There
if
is?
you
There is-
progressed in an area, that area will
Oh.
still be progressed.
Yeah,
when
the
you
This
go
is
back.
in for boss fight areas.
Yes.
Yeah, mostly.
Yes.
Okay, right.
It works like that, but weirdly enough, you go through the whole process to get back to that area.
You have to walk all the way there.
So
yes.
without spoilers, the final encounter that I had to do, I failed like once. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop for a bit and come back. And when I reloaded the game, I was back in my apartment, and I had to. If you know what I'm gonna say, if you remember what happens to get to the final encounter, I had to go through that again.
Yeah, it's a long process.
It's a long process, and I was really pissed. I was like, why? Why can't you just save in the place that needs to be saved?
In auto games, you're supposed to make you feel
you say
horrific.
need to be saved?
Yeah, fine, sure, but at least save so that I don't need to. You know what? That's all I have about.
But Seshan, remember, it's not about the destination. It's about the
Journey. Oh god. All right. Well, let's talk about that journey, shall we? Cooking at working at Happy's Humble Burger Farm.
Yes.
So when you go to work, there are some additional things you can do, which you can get more money for if you're really going for the money. I thought you had to do them, so I did it every time. But then I realized, I can just skip this part. I don't need to get the rats freaking stock the shelves every single time.
Mhm.
So
Actually, not too bad bonus tasks. They're a bit. I mean, they're basically the same thing every day, but
yeah,
It's mundane,
pretty
but
But it's
pretty
money.
they're
straightforward.
very mundane. Yeah,
Mundane.
it's it's free money.
It's
I guess.
almost as if they were trying to replicate the life of a fast food worker.
I know, right? Crazy. Toe is there to help you. He doesn't help you.
You
he's
know,
not there to do
I didn't
anything. He's what do you mean
realize.
he's there?
I genuinely didn't realize To was your coworker until one of my last shifts. I think I was just
And you were
looking at the
like,
guy and I was like,
"Are you the
"Aren't you
same?"
To?"
I think like during the during the starting shift, they tell you that like so is your coworker, but
Oh,
he's
yeah.
useless now, and he just stands there and burns the patties.
Yes, yes. For story reasons, he's useless now.
Foreshadowing? Question mark?
Foreshadowing, yes. So once you do all of those extra chores, if you decide to do them, you start your shift, turn on the lights, and you're good to go. Then people come in, they have orders, and the orders are usually a burger, uh, and sometimes it's with fries or nuggets or with a drink. Bless you. Uh, and then you just have to go get that. The only complicated ones are the burger, and then later on the other stuff. I don't remember.
So when it read that again,
It was the only complicated stuff was the burger because they had specific like drinks. It doesn't tell you. They don't tell you what drink they want. It's just like, okay, I want a soft drink. Okay, I throw the soft drink into the machine and it'll pick one for me.
I think the only other complicated one was the hot dogs. So that's
Hot dogs. Yes.
less complicated.
Yes.
Complicated? As in, like, how?
Hmm?
What do you mean
Just
complicated?
as in more complicated than a drink.
As in,
Drink
it's not
is already in.
it's not a straightforward task. It
Yeah,
requires
hot dog. You need to remove ketchup or you remove mustard sometimes.
like
That's
burgers
not-
and hot dogs have more customization, which means you need to remember more. You need to remember the
Yes.
thing plus the customization.
Yes.
Makes it even
And
more hectic if you decide to do the drive-through.
Yes, I turned off the drive-through after one order. It was
There is a drive-through. I didn't have to do any drive-throughs.
I didn't.
No,
do the
it's
drive-through.
it's an
You
optional
don't
thing.
have to do it. Yeah,
you don't have to
can.
do it.
There's a-
You
Turn
can
it on.
just keep going through. Yeah.
There's a lever on the
Yes.
right where when you turn it on, you start getting drive-through orders. So they said that
Yes.
if
Oh.
you want to earn more money, but it's more risky, you can
Because
do
you could
that.
miss two orders.
Because that's why there are
Oh.
there are bags on either side.
I was wondering when was the drive-through ever going to happen? And I was like, oh, it's okay, maybe just part of the scene or something like that. Okay,
Clearly
it
you
just must have
weren't
been me.
clearly you
I'm like,
weren't listening.
It's misdirection.
no, misdirection. I wasn't paying attention to it.
Yeah,
Clearly.
I didn't give one basically.
It was really. I remember I did the drive-through. Yeah. I remember this. I did the drive-through, and I finished my order, and the guy had just left.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and I didn't. I still had the bag with me. I was like, where'd you go? And I went outside, and he had just parked himself onto the grass. And I threw the bag at the car, and he was like, "Thank you," and he left.
He said thank you.
No, they don't say anything.
First customer who said thank you.
They just go with money and they leave.
and smiley faces.
Smiley faces, yes. Yeah, so that's there. Making burgers usually they sometimes say no tomato or no ketchup. No, sorry, not ketchup, no lettuce or whatever. And so you have to put them in order. Oh, by the way, they're toppings, but they go on the bottom of the patty.
Toppings go
Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's why I
No,
messed
I
up.
think
I
that's
think
just.
they should.
I think that's just the wrong word, right? Like it's not a topping. It's a
It's a bottoming.
what's. No, no,
I
no. It's not, no, 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 no,
no,
no.
it's
It's
called
like
toppings. It's
It's
called
called
toppings in the
toppings.
game.
it's called a
called
topping.
toppings,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, this is why I think the game is intentionally like wanting to irritate you because it calls the toppings when they're on the
No,
box.
no, no. I get in game they did that. I'm saying like in the real world, what is it called?
Yeah, toppings.
It's called
Oh,
topics.
in the real
It's
world,
called
it's just called
topics.
topping. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You have a
Yeah,
T-shirt
what else?
with burger with the burger orders written on it.
Oh yeah. They're talking about this one. Well, they don't explain. Anyway.
They do.
Oh,
They
God.
do
Um,
explain it.
I find it real. Another mote of irritation that they just give you is that there are 5 toppings, but you only have 4 inventory slots.
Yeah.
So you're picking up the toppings, and it's like, damn you! I can't put this tomato. I
Well,
can't do it in one fell swoop.
Not really a problem when you're at the back.
It was.
But it's even more annoying because time doesn't stop when you open the backpack.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's true. That's true.
And when you're having
What
that
was
in
that?
a boss fight, it's a very annoying part also because you
Yeah.
can't you immediately die.
So maybe I benefit. No.
No, you don't.
What was the thing I'm remembering? Oh yeah, I think Sashan watched me play a bit, and he saw how my bad memory affected. Every time I'm like, I put the burger down, I get the toppings. I'm like, wait, what did they not want in it? Tomato. Pick up lettuce. Wait, what did they not want?
Tomato picks up onion. Wait, what did they not want again? Oh, tomato, right? Picks up cheese. Wait a second. So they didn't want something, right? Tomato picks up tomato. What did they not want? Tomato, right? Puts tomato. Keeps on.
So the annoying thing is like I read no tomato, and so I think, oh, they want tomato. No, wait, they don't want tomato. And that was the worst with the hot dog because it's like no ketchup. So I click ketchup. Wait.
You need to redo the whole thing.
I honestly think the hot dog one was also like another annoyance because they could have just been
Yeah.
like hot dog mustard only, but no, it's hot
Yeah.
dog no ketchup.
Yeah. It's so annoying. Gosh darn.
Stupid.
They don't explain to you how to do the fries and the nuggets. So I was like, I picked up the fries. Where'd they go? Where did they go? I walk around.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I had the same problem as well until I
I
realized
put more
that the fry
fries
was
in the
on.
cooker. Where did
Yeah,
the fries go?
I watched a video of someone do it, so that's the only reason I knew. But I can imagine that that's a problem.
I think I saw it from the corner of my eye because I had put it in the rightmost
Yeah.
fryer.
That was how I saw it as well. Just like, what is the? Oh, this fry. Oh.
Oh.
Because
Fry
I
and be
had
fried.
because I had a thing where like every time I left click, it didn't go in the fryer, and I was like, why is this not working? And then it would bug out sometimes, and even though I had one bag of fries, it would fill up 2 fryers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. If you put
that's how
it
it is.
down the middle between the two, it registers both.
It doesn't make
man.
sense.
Uh,
But at least the benefit of that is it's still, even if you did still use like 1 or 2 bags, it's still a lot for the whole order.
Yeah, it
For
is.
all your orders,
Yes.
at least.
yes.
Which is good. You don't have to keep going back and forth.
Yes. Do the fries ever get cold
No.
and you have to
And the
restart them?
the hot dogs never burn.
The hot dogs never burn. I learned that very.
Hot dogs never burn. I thought they do.
No, they don't.
They
You
never
can just-
get overcooked.
You can just leave them on that thing and it'll just be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I always thought they overcooked. I was like rushing to pick it up.
No, I just
Yeah.
when you have to open, I make sure I have 2 bags of nuggets, 2 bags of fries. I press the open side, run into the kitchen, put the fryer on, run into the fridge, grab like 8 hot dogs, and just throw them on the grill.
Yeah,
I think
before someone
that's
comes
a-
in.
That's a good point that you kind of brought up. It's like I think one way to really maximize like your this thing on the shift is to be prepared, like
Yes.
pre-prepare a lot of things. Then it makes it a lot easier to get through.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just
Yeah.
in.
Yes. However,
Like,
it does discourage you from doing that with one thing, which is the burger. Because if you leave patties out, they get spoiled.
But that's if
over
you
time.
leave raw
Yes.
patties out. I think you can cook them and keep.
You can.
But they burn.
No, they get cold.
No.
They get cold.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
in the intro thing it says don't pre-prepare burgers ahead of time, you silly goose.
Oh, okay.
They get cold.
Did they
Anyway,
actually
I
say
never.
you
They get-
silly
they-
goose?
Hmm?
Did they actually say you silly goose?
Something along that line.
Okay.
I
I was like,
I-
that's a very you phrase to say.
I don't think
Kind
they
of
would be.
fit in
I
with-
don't think they would be so nice.
thing is they are very like nice, but there's always like this like what's the word? Subtext of horror underneath the niceness.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
capitalism for you.
So while you're cooking, and this is already like somewhat annoying, and like you're trying to figure shit out, and then things come into the room. A guy will walk in and come explode on you, and then well, that's an explosion.
You might want to rephrase that. Just rephrase it.
There's a guy who enters into the building, waddles up to you, and just bursts into flames.
Comforting.
Good,
Thank you.
good
Thank you,
rephrase. Good rephrase.
Another guy explodes into green and colors your vision if you stay in green.
Shrek.
Yes, right. I'm trying. What are the other ones? There's a guy who just runs around and moves
Oh.
you about a bit.
the one on the floor, right?
Yes.
Then there's the invisible dude that turns off the appliances. I hate him the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the worst.
Sometimes you-
annoys
sometimes you
Number of
forget that the
times I
appliances
keep
are off.
clicking. Why is nothing working? And then the pop-ups come. Oh, your appliances aren't on.
Yes. And the hot dogs. You have to put the hot dogs back onto the
Yeah.
grill after
Yeah.
appliances are turned on. You can't just leave them there, and so annoying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one other thing which was earlier, which is when the burgers are cooked, the pork was the hardest to tell if it was cooked. Like whenever I look back at it,
Yeah.
because it looks similar to the
Yeah.
raw version.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Uh,
by the way, the what's those emergency tasks?
Yes.
Ah,
As the
those
game
are
goes
not too
on, you're
bad.
given emergency tasks.
I think the worst ones for me was taking out the garbage and killing the rat.
Yes, it just takes so much time that you might
Oh, I thought
overcook
about
something that you
events.
had.
The rat one was not too bad because it always spawns in the same area. So the
Yeah,
garbage
it
is the
always-
most.
It does. Although my one of the times went outside, just
Oh, God.
waddled myself outside. I had to chase it down. The rat one is where part of the interaction was most annoying because I was trying to click on it and it just kept like what do you call? I had to crouch and I lost sight of where it went because I crouched because the camera just sort of jitters down. And also throwing things into that garbage can in the restaurant itself was
Yeah, it's hard. I remember doing a cleanup one day and this bag just would not go in.
this bag.
It would just not go in the
Yeah.
damn thing.
That bag is so annoying. Oh god, the game in its attempt to be frustrating succeeds with flying colors.
Very.
And I think that's what they want to do. They wanted to make you feel that way throughout the game.
It's a horror game, not to make you feel frustrated.
The horror
What's
is
the worst horror of
the
all?
horror is working, Anuk. Menial
Yes.
labor and what do you call it? Physical
Yes.
labor is just the worst horror of it all.
That I think, yeah, because you have to focus so hard on cooking the food because there's so many things you have to do, and all of them can go wrong at some point, or the appliances just turn off. That the horror and creepy element just becomes a distraction.
Yeah.
Uh,
I remember Akshan, I was watching you play one thing and like you ran around so much that by the end of your shift you had no energy.
oh yeah, I just kept holding shift. I never let go of the sprint button.
And then he's like, How am I gonna
How
get
do you lose the energy?
He was like, How am I gonna get back home? And I was like, There's a vending machine right behind you. There
I
is.
turned around. And there's some-
There is.
And normally, I've at least for me, I've never run out of energy, even without an energy bar.
What do you mean?
Wait, what? Oh, you mean eating an
I've
energy bar?
been like, no, without even eating an energy bar, I've never run out of
He's
energy
never gotten low on
while
energy.
running.
Do you always
Really?
sprint?
Yeah, most of the time I sprint. I'm not on sprint. I just that whenever I'm going back and forth, I'm sprinting.
In the restaurant?
Yeah, in the restaurant.
I don't know. Akshan just
Yeah.
like whole sprint for everything.
Maybe it's because I
Um,
bunny hop as well. I just bunny hopped a lot.
Bunny hopping and
maybe that.
sprinting does take
Probably
up
takes more
more
energy.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
yeah,
why.
I believe
I
it.
remember this from bouncing back and forth.
Yes. I enjoyed bunny hopping. I don't know why. So one thing that I only learned about after I finished the game was upgrading the kitchen with
Oh.
tokens.
Yes, that's
Uh,
useful.
You didn't know that either?
no, I didn't know. I was like,
Oh
oh,
my
there's a
God.
sheet here. What is this? Oh, I have tokens.
Wow. You really experienced the game.
You
I rolled
experienced it
on
on
this
hard mode.
There was actually even I did the same thing. I didn't bother upgrading. I just used the same equipment.
It's not that I didn't bother. I didn't know I could.
But the upgrades are so useful.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fine.
order time
fine.
and oh my
Yeah, the
God.
grill one especially, like I finish everything else. I just sit at the grill for like 15-20 seconds and then the burger's ready.
Okay, because the way I was playing, I throw the thing on the grill and I leave. When I tried it with the upgraded stuff, every time I came back, I
It was
had overcooked
burnt.
the burger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like with the grill upgrade, it's a lot easier because you just stay there for a few seconds and then like it's done. Like it really
Yeah.
saves time and like yeah, and
If I
especially
was
the order time extension.
if there was a end game endless mode like get to level 100
There
thing,
is.
then I
There
would.
is
That
an
is.
endless mode.
There's an endless mode, but not
But
achievements for it.
it's endless. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just endless. There's no like goal for it. I did like 20 orders and I was like, okay, I guess I'm done. There's nothing really to do.
Yeah. And there's no
Uh,
repercussions of doing it in endless mode.
badly. Yeah. You don't get any penalties for doing it badly. It's just how many can you do? Can
Yeah.
keep doing.
Okay.
That's where you can use the drive-through because there's no repercussions if you fail the order.
Yeah.
So you don't get attacked by.
No, you don't.
So
Which we
next
were getting
one.
to now. Thank you for that up.
Thank you
If
for
you-
thank you for that segue.
If you fail too many orders, Happy from the front of the house decides, let me slap you a bit and kill you. And
I like
comes to kill you.
I like the steps it takes to get there. You fail one order, like you're just like something like the screen kind of like goes all shaky. You fail two orders, the light stays off permanently,
Yeah.
and you can't turn it back on. You fail three orders, so you fail three orders, and then yeah.
You did.
Hap-
You did.
Happy's
No,
unhappy.
it's only after the third order that you become, right?
Yeah, and after so once you
Yes,
fail
yes.
the third order, unhappy comes out.
Unhappy.
And unhappy, she's very unhappy and grotesque. The only way you can stop her is by looking at her, but like as in like she stops moving, but you can't look at her forever just because. Actually, is there any reason you can't look at her forever?
You need to get
You
rid of
turn to
her.
stone.
Oh yeah, I guess it's depending on how long you want to live in the real world.
Yeah, I actually did not know what to do the first time I encountered her. I tried to run
Same.
away.
No, I didn't. I knew about the Patty thing from the intro.
I saw it but didn't understand it for some reason, and I just decided to run away and I died.
Yeah, even I didn't really understand.
Hmm.
What did I? Yeah, so when you do that, you have to cook a specific burger and put all the toppings on it. Just like I didn't put any toppings the first time I did, and I died.
Imagine she had a specific order, no tomato.
Oh, tomato! No, it's written on her. Oh god!
See, to put tomato.
And it's
just throwing tomatoes at her to try and get it away.
oh god, yeah. It's not. It's a bit complicated. I was about to say it's not too complicated. It's a bit complicated because you have to cook the food while looking at her, so you have to keep her in your camera view. So it's a bit complex how to move about and position yourself and cook the burger because the toppings on the other side of the thing to make it. So you have to quickly pick the toppings. Look at her again.
Yeah, and it's not like you have 5 slots to pick them all up at once.
Yeah, you don't. can you do? That's I think even like the way the game is marketed, that's like the thing that they market the game with, showing Happy chasing you in the restaurant itself.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's called
in
Happy
a-
is Humble.
yes, but the thing is, I only saw that after I finished the game again.
You
'Cause
mean Unhappy
I
Happy?
only yes, I only encountered her because I did my best to make the orders happen.
Well, I think Anuk encountered her a lot because
Oh yeah.
he tried to follow realistic standards of putting burger patties first.
Yes.
Yes, because that's how you normally do a patty.
That's how
A
his
burger.
mama taught him.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Anuk Happy wants it the other way. He wants his bottomings on.
Bottomings on.
Bottomings.
He wants his bottomings, not his toppings.
Oh, God.
Bottomings.
That's what you would be doing when you're doing like the things that the game wants you to do, or rather the world wants you to do. You can break away from it, of course, because there's no timer on getting to work. Work
Mhm.
just starts when you open the store, and work just and the day just ends when you go to bed. There's
Have
no clock.
have a happy humble day.
Mamma mia! What were you doing?
No, the checkout thing.
Oh, the Japanese. It was
The Japanese clock out thing. Have a happy humble day.
sounded Italian. I was like, what are you doing?
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. I
Oh,
like how you
God.
still backed it up very much, even though you didn't know what he was saying.
So you finish work and you might go out into the open world to buy stuff, and some of that stuff is important for certain quests, which, for story reasons, hard to explain without going into story. But we'll get there later. You can craft items, which you need to buy or get certain things to craft items. Some of those items are useful for the story. Others are useful for just opening doors you couldn't before. Yeah. And were any of you confused as to what you were supposed to, sorry, where you were supposed to get them, or did you? Because it took me a while to read the back of the board and realize, oh, those three. Oh, okay, I did. Okay.
I read them.
I knew it, and I knew where to go as well.
Because the guy told me, like, the instructions are on the thing, and I looked around for the thing, and I went into my main room to look for the thing.
Where is the thing?
Where is it?
Where is it?
Right,
I found the instructions. Right job. Yeah, it's simple enough once you understand what to do. If you don't have the money, you might have to get the money to buy the things, to craft the things.
Why would I not have the money? It's not like I spend it on a flat screen TV or
You know what? Solid logic there. Did you also buy the jukebox?
Yes, I did.
I think you need to get it for the achievements, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's basically the game. Before we get into certain spoiler territory, anything else you want to say before we get into spoiler territory?
Let me pull out my notes.
Notice.
I will say this: there is one other character other than To who is not like the others.
Oh yeah,
It
the
is
woman.
Yeah, it's the lady at
The
Steel and
woman
Cell.
at Steel and stuff.
And
Is
there's nothing
that her
said
name?
about her,
Yeah, there isn't.
which is odd. I have no idea about what exactly she is there for, but yeah. Also,
What does she
I'm surprised you didn't mention this part when we were talking about the vibe and the aesthetics. The things being made out of cardboard.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious to find. I
What was
laughed for a
made out of
while.
cardboard?
So there's points where you're walking past the thing, or you're walking past the thing, and you see like a tractor, not what do you call those things?
Oh,
Digger.
bulldozer.
Yeah, a digger sort of thing, construction site stuff. And it's when you're at a distance, it looks like just a PNG. It just looks like a PNG they put onto the thing, and it's an indie game. You're thinking, okay, that's fine. That makes it's a smaller game. They can't afford to have the whole model there. But then later you can go in there, and so I was like, okay, what's this PNG? Why can I walk all the way towards it? That's really weird. And then I walk behind it, and it's just a cardboard cutout of the. It was a real life PNG within the world.
Makes sense.
That was hilarious. I was laughing for a while, and then I faced spoiler territory. So we're going to spoil the game. You already roughly know that there are bosses and stuff in here, but we're going to go into spoilers with the game. Regarding story, the bosses.
You have been warned. You have been
warned. All right. So this game, after you can do all this stuff, but at some point it tells you, hey, this thing just opened, or this thing don't go there, and you go there. And that's where the first time you find each one of the mascots in their most horrific form. Happy Ori kind of meter in the tutorial, and then if you fail. But then you meet each one in their most horrific form, and it starts up with Petey the pig, which there was no way one person could predict that was going to happen. I was expecting a pig like standing up and coming to attack me. Not that.
Yeah.
They actually spoil it on the Steam page.
Yeah, they do.
They do?
Yeah, they do. I that's why its actual reveal didn't surprise me too much, but surprisingly they decided to spoil that.
But I saw it only after the fight, so
yeah.
It's very good, very tense and creepy sort of build up, because all you see when you enter is this thing cloaked in blue, in this blue tapestry. I don't know what you call it. Top. Tapestry. Top. And your goal is to turn on all the lights. And I was trying to leave. I was considering leaving, and it didn't let me leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't let
Yeah,
me
it doesn't
leave.
let you leave until you defeat PT.
Yeah, that's a bit tough for you with the lantern.
But turned on all the lights.
I can see the pain in that smile.
The tears, they're coming through.
Anyway.
So you turn all the lights, and then Petey's there. The game doesn't really tell you what to do, but these things start chasing you and blow up whenever you get near them, or they get near you, and then Petey's throwing things at you. The game doesn't really tell you what to do, but does it give you a hint after a while?
It does.
No?
It does.
Well,
say something.
you get an idea that you have to make burgers. I think that's...
No, I feel like something tells you, or there's something you read where it's just like make use of the kitchen or something.
Yeah, yes, I think that might be it. That's what I'm remembering.
There's like a pop-up, I think, that shows up. Once you see the kitchen, it's like maybe you can use your skills or something to do something, and then you're just like, oh, make burgers.
Yes. I remember I did the mistake I did in the beginning, which is I made a burger without toppings. I was like, this should be enough, right? He's a demented pig. He doesn't want toppings, and then you need 5 toppings on the burger.
Yeah.
And you can't cook multiple. Or maybe you can, and one of them just flew away.
I never tried cooking multiple. So
I tried cooking 3 at once. I cooked one, finished it, and then threw it, and then I came back, and all the other 2 patties were gone.
No.
And I was upset. I cooked a burger, and something exploded next to me, and the burger was gone. I thought it was destroyed. Then while I was cooking the next one, I was like, oh, it just flew to the floor. Picked it up.
That's okay. That happened to me too. I also thought that it was destroyed, but I never looked around to see whether it flew away or whatever.
I didn't even look around. I just stumbled upon it.
Okay, so that's what happened to it. Okay.
Yeah, that happened to both of us. Oh, goodness. He needs 3 burgers. You get it done. He explodes from overeating. And then you go inside him, and he has a room on the other side, which also, at that point in the game, it's weird. Doesn't make sense.
It's like a safe room, but I don't understand.
Yes. Yeah. And then you go back to work.
Yeah,
Like nothing
completely
ever happened.
normal.
Just go back to work.
That's the biggest horror scene of it all.
Actually,
after
no, that's not what happens. You find a recipe inside that safe, inside that bunker or whatever.
Ah,
yeah.
yes.
And then you meet, and then you have a new friend once you get
You have a
back
new
home.
friend. Yes. A wall in the bathroom opens up and your new friend is there. A head. It's just a human head on a mechanical life sustenancing device that talks to you and tells you to hack through. You have to make these devices, which doesn't make sense. Until like the ending, none of that made sense.
Yeah.
None of what made sense.
Your new friend is called Vic. He's short for Virtual Intelligence Cybernetic.
Lovely.
Yes.
Indeed.
Or it's short for Victor, but okay.
Yes. He talks too much.
He does.
I was trying to figure out how to do the thing and like figuring out the thing. He just kept talking. Wanted to shut up.
But after one
Throw
point,
him
he
up.
stopped. But after one point, he stopped talking altogether. So
Yes, I was happy at that moment. But after that,
You were happy. I was actually gonna ask, did any of you care when that scene happened? When his last being like, okay. I not gonna lie, Session, I genuinely thought you were gonna say, I felt something when Vic said
I
I'm
felt
not
something.
gonna
It
speak
was
to
about
you.
the journey.
it was about the
It's
journey.
about the journey. Somehow it just added to my journey. In fact.
It's the friends you meet along the way, not the ones you lose.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Actually, that's something we never mentioned. In the loading screens, they give you like quotes from games, but
Yeah.
changed to be
Yeah.
burger related. I don't remember the quotes, but the Skyrim
I used
one.
I used to be a line cook like you. Then I took a patty to the knee or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Skyrim.
Yes.
You fried.
You fried.
Things like that.
That's
Speaking of fried,
Dark Souls.
Charlie the chicken.
Charlie the chilling chicken.
Next part, you go to museum, not university. It was a building.
It was yes.
And there's also maybe you read the book in the room. The game has this deep history of the Happy's humble
Yeah.
heifer.
Yeah.
It has like comics describing.
I was gonna explain that in the story section.
Yeah, it's like it gives you so much information. We'll go into more at the story section. But it gives you such a deep history, and you go to the museum, and there's even more of a history. It is crazy. From there, you find this underground facility where Charlie the demonic chicken is, and you have to do these tasks, and you have to like put pipes into things, and
Before
then,
that, did any of y'all pre-plan for that fight?
Nope.
no,
Anuk, did
Sorry,
you?
which fight again? Sorry,
The
Did
Charlie
you
fight.
pre for Charlie's fight?
Charlie.
Pre-plan.
Let me remember. I think I might have. I'm not mistaken. I think I might have.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
amazed at the both of y'all who didn't. Like that was a tough one. Even with the pre-planning, it was tough.
It was really horrible.
I did it without a backpack as well. That would have helped.
Yeah, you did it without a back.
So, before we'll go into the details of it, first you have to put pipes into this thing, and then after you do that, you have to make 3 burgers, which don't go cold, thankfully.
Mhm.
But you make those 3 burgers, and the ingredients are all around the facility. And while you're getting those ingredients, the chicken is chasing you, and is wanting to kill you, wants to hurt you.
Mhm.
It is. I barely got a look of him throughout the game until I went into a cupboard and hid there, and he just walked past, and then he walked towards the cupboard, and he poked his head through, like he glitched through, and I just saw his face staring at me.
And not to
That's the
mention,
true horror.
he lays homing eggs.
He does. He lays homing eggs that follow you as homing. Yeah. Uh, that explode on
annoying part.
impact.
Yeah.
That was the.
I think you can avoid them, don't you? Can't you?
You can, but you can't get rid of them without
I was bunny
without them
hopping through the place.
exploding.
Yeah. I bought a lot of those coffee things that make you faster and just bunny hopped all over.
Same.
Yep, that's
Uh,
a great way.
I don't know how it is with the bag, but without the bag, I just went, found the lettuce, and then picked up 3, ran back, put the 3 down. Okay. Then I went and got the next ones, and I kept doing
So
that.
it's a lot similar when I did the fight with the backpack. The only difference is that like I could go and get maybe like 2-3 more ingredients and then go back.
Okay.
So there were
Got it.
less trips. I was just getting stuck because I didn't know where to go. And my problem is that like I thought like he listens to sound or something, or like he follows wherever the eggs are. But like inherently he's always there wherever I am.
Yeah, it's how it is. They go by area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
he
you
just
hit
teleport for
the
your area almost.
if you hit the what do you call the lines or whatever they are,
The
those
lasers.
lasers, yeah, he's notified.
He is,
Uh,
but like even if I crouch and like quietly go to a certain area, it's like AI brings him to that area.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
really weird.
anyway, what I learned is that I think Vic says something that like can animates outrun him.
Yes.
You had the coffee only.
No,
Normally it's
even
difficult.
normally.
You can, but it's a bit difficult.
Yeah. You can normally outrun him. It's just that you have to stop at points to pick up things, and he'll catch up at the.
Yeah.
The coffee's better. What I did was I activated the laser and then went through the vents and got to the places I wanted to go, so that he would go to the laser first and then follow me.
Even I did that.
Yeah. So the strategy was there. Again, the game doesn't really have objective markers. It does not tell you where to go. I was looking for the grill for ages. Like, where do I grill this stuff?
And then tell them, Akshan, what you do after you get the burgers made.
You put them on a tray, and then you wait.
No, put them in a bowl.
Put them in a bowl, and then you wait.
Yeah. You want to know
I
something?
wait.
You want to know something?
Yeah.
I put them in the bowl, and apparently they're like, you don't have all the toppings on. And I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I counted.
I made the same
What?
mistake. I made the same mistake
I
as well.
counted. I counted 5 toppings. I'm like, where? Why is there not 5? Then I was just like, all right, I'm fed up with this shit. I went to Charlie and I lured him in. And
Okay.
and then I made fried chicken.
Wait, what? Without putting the burgers?
I left the burgers in there, but you can lure him into the cage and.
Yeah, but how did you open the control room?
What do you mean?
The control room.
You need to have
put
the
grill.
burgers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you
put
need
the
the
fire.
burger.
Yeah, it doesn't let you into the control room
Doesn't let
until
you
you
into the
have
control
all 3
room.
burgers.
No, the control room is open.
No, it's not
Once
open.
you turn on the power. So Charlie's in the control room.
No. The room where you fry him.
The room where you fry him.
Oh, I don't know. I just put the burgers in and like it opened up. But then I was just.
Oh, that means you did it already.
But then
I
it
don't
said.
think-
But then it said it didn't have all 5 toppings.
Maybe it's a bug. I don't know.
Because he didn't.
Sashab a bug.
Because he didn't show up, and I was like, "Where is he?"
Okay, wait a minute. So when you put the burgers in, did all 3 burgers get in there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means they had all 5 toppings, because I also had an issue like that, and it didn't let me put it in.
No, so all mine.
If your burger went into the bowl, that means even if the message comes up, it means you had all 5 toppings.
So it went.
That means
it went into the bowl, but Charlie never showed up. I waited there for a while, and I was like,
you have to lure Charlie in. You have to lure Charlie in, regardless of whether the burgers are there or not. No, you have to do that regardless.
Yeah.
see.
He doesn't just show up.
I see.
Yeah. I think the message coming up was a bug because if you really didn't have the toppings, they wouldn't let you put it in the bowl.
Well, yeah, I was wondering because I counted 5 times.
Yes. And then you have fried chicken. Perfect.
And then you have fried chicken.
Yeah.
So after you make fried chicken, you can you exit the place. You have the exit sign.
You can scarf it down with some salmon.
and you are led to
And there's a
you are
big-
dropped
Yeah.
into a sewer, and you're just like, oh, I'm swimming, and then you just hear a roar behind you. Turn around, and then
Turn around
I
and
forgot the fish's
you're
name.
greeted by Sammy the surly salmon.
Sammy the surly salmon, the bastard.
Yep.
He was that yeah. I died when I saw him because I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
I was
so
just
did
still
I.
like, oh,
But I would say though, I will say that they did him dirty with just that being his sequence.
that was his sequence. In my head, I was like, okay, maybe there wasn't really much they could do, so they just gave him that quick one.
Yeah, but like I mean, still, right? Like maybe something else. I don't know.
I don't think it being a fish. I don't think there's much you can do. And plus, it's in the water. It's annoying for the player to do.
You say this when Peter was glued to the floor. PT
Yeah,
was
fair enough.
yeah. This game makes no sense as is. Leaving the fish in water is the most common sense thing this game has done by far.
Oh god! I will say the horror designs for all of the creatures are pretty good. They're pretty well done. They're very detailed, very cool, very interesting looking. And although you don't, except for Petey, you don't really look at them that long just because you're running from them most of the time.
Yeah.
Yes. So the fish thing happens, and then you go back to work if you want to, or you or you craft the next thing.
Basically, the whole
It's
thing is
burger
going back to work.
bombs.
And you have another burger bomb, which I like the description of the burger patties have gunpowder in them, so you can use them to make a burger bomb, and then you make one, and then you go to the last section of the game, which takes you through the sewers with Happy first.
And then
No, you forgot the demonic farmer.
That's after.
That's before it.
No, it's after
No,
you go through the
no.
sewers to
Farmer
get
is
to
the
him.
last.
Me and
Farmer is
Seshan
the
had to do it twice. We
Yep.
remember we have because I stopped after during the farmer bit. I was like, I'm gonna stop for now, and then I came back and had to go through Happy again.
You
No,
go
because it doesn't save.
At your bed
Right,
only. So when you
At your bed,
reload
yeah.
at your bed,
I thought you also did saves in certain
Yeah,
areas or something.
it does
Saves,
auto save,
yeah.
but it always loads you at the bed.
So basically, like we didn't have to go through the diner sequence again, but we had to go through the sewer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Isn't the sewer scene before the diner scene?
yeah. So
No,
we
after.
Yeah. That's what we mean.
So we had to
So
go
we were
through.
in the diner. And then we stopped playing for the day. And then we came
Yeah.
back and we were in our bedroom.
Yeah, so then we had to go through the sewers. And
Okay. Sorry. No, I understand. So you didn't have to do the diner, the shift.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that.
No.
Okay, but you still have to go back to. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
and
I
to
get
reach the diner, you had to
Yes.
go through the sewers.
that. That's so weird.
Yes.
It is.
Very weird. But the creepy thing was like, you know how Happy works, which is you look at her and she can't move. But then later, like the point that creeped me out was I was looking at her like, you can't move, and then she started walking towards me.
Yeah. Just walking on our own.
That's the second Happy in the sewer, right? The
Yes.
animatronic.
And
Yeah.
then you got the giant Happy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm.
I forgot she happens. She chases you down. It's crazy.
That's
Uh,
fun.
Yeah. Thankfully, I had some coffee, so I was just running, bunny hopping all the way to the
Same.
I thought you were talking about real life coffee.
end.
And then
So,
you
yeah.
have the diner
Tripping, man, I was
sequence.
tripping.
Yes, we have the diner sequence.
The diner is like a lot. I don't know, like the vibe of it felt ominous, like even more ominous than Happy.
Oh yeah,
Because like it was, I felt like it was.
Black
I don't
and
know
white.
if I don't remember, but like it felt silent.
it was black and white and completely like silent.
Yeah, it felt really silent, and then I was just doing the orders in the diner, and I was like, "This is what I'm supposed to be doing? Is that something that's gonna come and attack me?"
Mm.
Then I do 3 orders, and it's like, "Take out the trash." I'm like, "Okay." Takes out the trash, gets stuck in a labyrinth.
Yes.
Make my way back, do another 3 orders. Then all of a sudden, the icebox starts talking to me.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and then you go in and
Go
then
into the icebox, yeah. And then you do another 3 orders. And you go back into the icebox.
They come out of the
no,
icebox.
I don't remember what happens.
No, you go when you go into the icebox, the first time you're climbing out of a volcano.
Yes, you are.
Then when you do the 3 orders again, I think you go back into the icebox. I don't remember.
I don't remember what you do. I think you go. Yeah, no, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Something
Very
happens,
confusing.
and then something happens.
maybe.
Bada boom! You're in the final boss fight.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Which is cooking.
Whoa, crazy!
Cooking what? 3 burgers, 3 of each kind
3 of
for
each. I mean,
the guy. I
you
forgot his
gotta
name.
you gotta cook the Happy Deluxe, the the chillin' chicken, and the whatever.
Pork.
Yeah.
The pop.
Yes, it's
The pop.
basically like the chicken fight, except he's definitely constantly following you. There's no way to distract him.
But he walks pretty slowly, so.
He walks pretty slowly. Yes, and he
And if you look
slaps
really, really closely, you see Charlie, Happy, and Petey in his little pocket.
Yes, you can.
Oh, wait, really? I didn't realize that.
Didn't even bother looking
Yeah.
close enough to see.
Yeah, and that's why I'm gonna say this again. Sammy was done dirty.
I don't think anyone likes Sammy. in the game.
I'm sorry, Sashan, you're the only one.
Anyone who cares about Sammy. Salmon.
You gotta treat,
Justice for Sammy.
you gotta
the
treat
salmon.
all those farm animals equally, man.
Oh Lord! You know, in the burger shop,
Mhm.
when you're doing orders and stuff, you can click on each of the mascots, right?
Yeah.
The farmer always had the most demonic voice.
Yes.
when
Yes,
talking.
you did.
My farm is a haven. It was absurd. But yes, you do deal with the farmer, cook the food, and you go to a phone box, and then you're let out.
Before you get that, most anticlimactic fight of my life.
Yes. I agree. Just because I thought there would be one more fight with Happy before the ending, but that was apparently the final one, and we just
I will
let out.
only say
And
that
just let it be.
the most difficult part of that entire fight is that I could not tell if the burgers were cooked. The entire
Yes.
thing was in
It
black
was
and
black and
white.
white. The pork was hard to tell because it's just a color change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a hard one. And yeah, it's it felt anticlimactic too for that to be the final fight. I was gearing up for the final big old Happy's
The
fight,
showdown with Happy.
but she didn't show. Very sad.
She didn't
Uh,
show
they-
down.
yeah. So let's go into the story, the world and the story of this game.
What?
Which, as you go through, it is revealed that you are in a simulated reality.
Oh my gosh, we're red pilling right now.
Amazing. Whoa, who
They
could
did a
see
bite
that
push.
one
Alright.
coming?
We've turned into the red pill podcast. Let's go.
Oh,
Can I-
no, please no.
Can I ask, as you go through and you fry the chip in your brain, did you look around and note? I don't know if in the beginning there was a change, but did you notice when you look around in the world that you're actually in a box with stars?
Yeah.
Or was it before that there was a box with stars?
No, there was
I
like
think
a
it's
proper.
before also.
No, I think
Before also?
I'm not too sure, but like I feel like you see that you're in a simulation more prominently after you fry
Yeah.
the chip.
Yeah, you
Because the
start to see the
buildings look
things.
weird.
Possibly, yeah.
You know
Buildings look weird.
you know what I did? One of the things I did was I think I hacked the vending machine in that pharmacy or whatever,
Yes.
and it started overflowing with medicine.
Oh,
Nice.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and then
Oh yeah.
and then when I
Yeah.
took that medication, all the signs that said Happy's Humble Burger Farm changed into Obscura.
That's the company, right?
Oh,
That's the
okay.
company.
Yeah, that's a company. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. I was wondering what those pills were for because I took them and I was like, okay. I don't know what they do. I didn't notice that. That's interesting. That's cool. Yeah, that's where all of the weirdness starts to make sense because it's your simulation sort of not making sense. It's surrealist.
Yeah.
Trying to make sense of the world, but it doesn't. And everything started to click for me, and I was like, "Oh, that's why. That's why."
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, I also love how after the simulation is revealed, the weird stuff like citizens. There's a point where one of the citizens in the world just started speed walking around the
Yeah.
block.
Walking at 2 times speed.
Yes, it's just absurd. It was interesting. It was interesting seeing that happen. Uh, I when you finally get out, and after you figure this all out, and you see that there's a way to get out, you go down and out of the facility, which you're on an island, and they reveal earlier on that you were actually a journalist who was
Mhm.
covering Obscura on this island that made you think that there was a nuclear explosion, and so you had to get into the bunkers, and then they put a chip in you
Yeah.
and made you a fast food worker. And so you're leaving as this guy who's learned all these secrets, and you're going out to reveal it to the world. But Happy follows you out of the place at the end. Gah, gah, gah.
She's been let loose on the world.
Happy's Humble Burger Farm too. Farmier.
Farmier.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
It's a farm simulator.
What?
This time.
Did you?
Is
Did
this
you?
the beginning of Farmville?
I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
the beginning of Farmville.
Yes.
No, we're joking.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the moment you break out of the simulation, the graphics in the entire game turn up.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Like
Mm.
the detailing is just like way more. Like, it's like
Detailed.
Better.
yeah, it's like the entire simulation runs on like a VHS filter.
Yes.
Which you can turn off.
You can
right?
change, yeah.
Yeah. I think I turned it off after you told me that it's possible.
You
I don't think I did. Interesting.
I don't. I learned about it after I finished. So like,
I also learned about it after I finished.
yeah.
That's level up. I only learned about it now.
Congratulations. I can play the game again with the filter.
Wow.
Played on. We can play with each filter. I think they're like 6.
Yeah.
No.
The world and the story is not dissimilar to another game that we played, Lethal Company, except that Lethal Company is not a simulation. It's just that you're working for a very mysterious capitalist organization that is run by some kind of alien being.
Alien being.
Because they give you hints that this thing came from another world, and it's mimicking the mascots of our fast food joints.
No, so there's actually a story about it. I don't know. Like one is
Okay.
that I researched about it, and then like when I was playing the game, like I played a little bit more, and then I kind of understood bits of it.
Mm.
So the whole thing is that they're this is the real weird part, right? Like they have created their own universe. It's not even Earth. It's the planet is called Planet Scythe. If you go into the museum and you watch that movie, it says it's the planet Scythe, and obviously it's named after the dev team, Scythe dev team.
Side dev team.
Scythe dev team. Yeah, it's called the planet Scythe. And funny, the CEO of the company is called Grim. Get it? Grim Scythe, Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
on and they think Scythe is like the only planet that has like life on it, and there has been like some world war or something like that, and I think Grim is the person that sort of like brought the world together. Like the world was like in like full harmony, except for these natives that were on this particular island, and
Okay.
and so then they came to the island and they nuked it to get rid of the natives. That is the nuke that you see in the flashback.
Mm.
And so the nuclear bomb is what sets off some, and it's in the audio logs. The nuclear bomb sets off something within the island that sets out these evil spirits that possess the animate, like the mascots.
Okay.
So it's not like an alien thing, but like it's from whatever these natives have on their island.
Okay. I remember listening to one of the logs, and it was just like the pig has eaten the entire stuff, and now it's so full it can't move. That was so. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What a weird, what a weird explanation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they are aliens, but they are mutated natives of a planet that you are an alien to.
Kind of, yeah. And like this, the game also connects with other games that the dev team have done, which you get a look at in Burger Barn
Okay.
The demo, quote unquote.
in the demo. Yeah. Also another one of their games. I forgot what the game is called. They have some like other horror game that they make
Mhm.
reference to, which apparently also draws inspiration to Happy Sun. Do I mention the relation
Yeah.
between the demo and this?
Oh yeah, we can talk about the demo. Yeah.
So if you haven't played the demo, you play like a earlier version of the diner, which is called Happy Samba Burger Barn,
Burger Barn.
and that turns out to be the diner below the diner that you play in Burger Farm, all the way from like everything that you do, because the start of Burger Barn is you drive the truck and you park it in that corner near the dumpster, and that's the same truck that you blow up in Burger Farm. And the way Burger Barn like sort of ends is you go out of the diner, and things start going crazy, and then all of a sudden the room starts shaking, and people like the players think that that's like the shaking that happens at the end of Burger Barn is a signal that it's the nuclear bomb that was set off, because everything is like in disarray.
Ah. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because the
so
game does start shaking and breaking.
yeah, and then after that, your character is able to roam the obscure facility, read a bunch of notes, and see how like Grim was like making like certain experiments to sort of like train humans, so to speak. And so the burger simulation was one of four experiments that they were doing. And there was also a thing,
Yeah, I remember
yeah.
seeing that.
And so the way your character in Burger Farm actually ends up as an employee is that there is a worker at Obscura who like he's a whistleblower, and he was about to like leak the fact that
Yes.
they were
So
doing
they
these illegal experiments. And so that got to a news journalist, Maverick Cooper. And so whoever came along with Maverick Cooper is your character that you're playing, E42. And then they go and stay in the hotel, and the hotel is a front in order to get test subjects. And like,
Yeah.
I think this like level of detail and lore is what really got me invested in the game.
Yeah, that's why I ended up like because if it was just like the weirdness and the cooking and all of that, I wouldn't have cared as much by the end. But the fact that everything kind of makes sense and they have like a deep history and the amount of effort they put into it, I I enjoyed it. It's such a weird game, but it's very, very well made for the kind of game it is.
Indeed.
Indeed, it is. It's also not a very long game. It took me 6, 7 hours
Yeah, about
to finish.
6, 7 hours to finish, and about another hour if you want to complete it.
We want to get all the achievements. Anything else we want to say before we go into achievement hunting?
No, not me. I'm good.
Don't really. I think we covered pretty much all of it. It's good to hear you guys talk about the story because I wasn't really
He was
paying
pissed off.
attention to all that.
What do you mean, Delanta? The story is there in all the audio logs and the little notes you find. You know the non-scary parts.
Anyway.
It's like Gone
Moving.
Home.
No.
You got so let's go into achievements. This game is light on achievements. I believe 3 of us have gotten all the achievements on it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks for saying that.
We
He did 3 hours. He didn't mention
we didn't
who.
mention who.
Well-
You just outed yourself.
Yeah,
There
what?
we are. Congratulations.
Thanks for making Anuk feel so bad, Akshan. What the hell?
I know, right? How
Thanks,
could I
Shreya.
do
Thanks.
this?
Anuk, I'm so sorry Akshan chose to out you like that.
So if you
It's
are an
alright.
achievement hunter, you want 100% every game. This is not an impossible game to get that. Isn't that right, Sashan? Achievement hunter.
Yeah, it's fairly easy, and I think maybe like 80% of the achievements are stuff that happens as you play the game. I would say there's maybe like 1 or 2 missable things, but there's nothing stopping you from coming back into the game from where you last saved and actually completing them. Because I did that. I did that towards the end, and it's fairly easy. I would say the annoying ones are the ones where you require to have money, like buying the flat screen TV and buying the jukebox. But overall, super easy game, and that the fact that you don't have to replay the entire game to get missable achievements is good.
Yeah. The game, you don't have to restart the game when you finish the game. It loads you back in
Yeah.
the last time you went to sleep or something like that. Yeah. So we have our thoughts. Those are basically our thoughts on the game and what the game is. Yeah. Let's go into our ratings. Ratings for this game. We'll start with me since I'm the one who picked it. We are either going to give this game a try it or a skip it. Those are our 2 ratings for this game. So I'm going to start with me because I picked the game. I didn't really know anything about this game. The reason I picked it was that I was considering another horror game that was also related to cooking and all, but I thought that was a bit maybe too too scary because I played it before as well. So I was like, let me find one that's not as scary. And I found this.
Well, you should be thanking Akshan now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
But after playing the game,
I would have just quit the podcast then and there. if I couldn't do it, I would have just quit.
Just leave your desk. But the game was, as I said earlier, it was weird, but it made sense by the end, and that's my favorite genre of fiction that you could possibly make. I love it. I'm a sucker for if it just makes no sense and makes complete sense by the end. So I also everything that made it irritating. Because I knew it was intentional. Like I felt like it was intentional. It was entertaining to me. It was entertaining overall for me. It was like I felt the verisimilitude. Look at that word, verisimilitude of being a line cook in this weird world.
Verisimilitude.
So, approaching what's verisimilitude? It's like it's the feeling of being real. So, like me and my character were in sync with how annoyed we were trying to get our jobs done. And so I felt that way about this game. It's a weird game as well. It's a horror game. So if you're not a fan of horror games, there's no reason for you to play this stuff. Like it's going to change your mind, revolutionize the horror experience. But if you were interested in this game, you got 6 hours, 7 hours to spare, and you're interested in a weird game with a weird world, I'm going to say try it. That's my rating. Try this game. And we'll go down the line this time. So Sesha.
I had mixed feelings when I was starting this game. I found it really annoying. Something that felt like I was not gonna like because it felt really, really boring. living the life of a fast food worker. Like there were some entertaining bits, like the weirdness of being like a line cook, like Akshan mentioned and like we spoke about in this. But I think after the very first boss fight is when I started to really get interested in the game and like start actually caring about it. And I think at that point I couldn't stop playing it because I was getting even more and more interested in where this game was trying to go. Because a lot of the times when you start off a game, usually the game sets a premise at the start, and it's like this is the objective that you're trying to reach. If, for example, you take some of the other games we've played, Bomb Rush, Cyberpunk, it's we're trying to go all city. In Heavy Rain, it was I'm trying to save my son. In Journey, you're trying to get to the top of the mountain or whatever, right? In Core Keeper, it's trying to defeat all these bosses. In this game, there was nothing like that, and it really annoyed me because I was like, "Am I just doing this for the sake of doing it? Even my real life work has more meaning than this." And like I said, after the boss fight, it felt like this game finally had direction. And the more you played it, the more you face the other bosses and stuff like that, and the story starts to unwind. You meet Vic and all that stuff. It gets more and more interesting to the point that I was actually invested in the game, and I went and played the demo, like Akshan mentioned, and I convinced Akshan also to play the demo because of the relation that the game had, and like I watched a whole bunch of videos of like people's analysis of the game and stuff like that. And I think where the game truly shines is not in its gameplay or in its horror as such, but it's how well they've meshed their story and their lore into this game. Which is why, even though I thought it was gonna be my first skip it, I'm still on a streak and I'm gonna say try it.
We almost had him.
Almost got him.
Almost got him.
Almost.
But lovely.
Almost.
So 2 tried so far. Let's move on to Anu.
All right. So I came in with the idea that this game would be something similar to Five Nights at Freddy's, where you just go to work, make burgers, make hot dogs, make milkshakes, make drinks, fries, nuggets, whatever you want to say. But then over time, you see the story changes, and then you start to realize, is it just only making burgers, or is there more to it? And then over time, it becomes more and more interesting, at least for me. Excluding the horror parts, I think it had a very progressive storyline instead of like just bam 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 stuff. Um, in With respect to the horror part, I can't speak for everyone, but for myself at least, it wasn't too jump scary or it wasn't too bad. I mean, at points there were few jump scares that you just startle you, but not so bad that you like jump out of your seat scare kind of thing.
Speak for yourself there.
But regardless, I think if you are not too bad with horror games and stuff, I think this is a good game to play just for the story and like the aspect of making burgers and stuff. Yeah, so I say try it instead of skip it.
Woodly boodly boo. Crazy.
Bit of pressure and
Bit of pressure. I just remembered the only like jump scare that got me, and it was not even. It was when that guy turned the corner and was holding a gun.
Same.
It wasn't even
Oh
missing.
yeah. That's
That was the
that's the only one everything.
That was the only freaking jump scare I had this entire game. And I was like,
And
it's to a human.
Screw you. All right, so finally, the horror aficionado, Delanta. Would you please tell us what you're
Saved the best for last, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think I made my feelings pretty clear about this game from the get go.
No, please
but I mean,
elaborate.
yeah, not a big fan of the genre. I was definitely on the edge, not knowing what to expect with this one, because these types of games always have, that little bit of extra surprise, extra unknowing and whatnot, which I wasn't looking forward to. I mean, I only say this to preface why I'm making this decision. It's purely because at the end of the day, these are the types of games that just aren't for me. And I'm not gonna sit there and pretend like anything in the game changed that. Like, I'm glad that you all were able to find joy in the story. I think most people have said that the story was the winner here.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a hoot.
You should finish the game.
Yeah, and I think in general that was just my attitude. Like, I always have this like, I say it a lot recently. Like, once you've made your mind up about how a game is, you really can't shake it, and it's just like that's gonna stick with you throughout. Like, once you've decided that the game is such, it's very unless there's something really groundbreaking, it's very hard to shake. So that didn't happen for me. So for me, it's gonna be a skip it.
Ooh.
Second
Big
skip
shocker.
it, I think. Yeah.
Second?
Very, very rare skip it. I think the other one was co-keeper.
I'm
sorry,
thinking. I thought there was a third. That's why I'm like,
Is there a third?
is there a third?
No.
I
Well,
remember I did my first one as a joke, but I don't think I actually stuck with the skip it for that one. Anyway, for me, it's a skip
Alright.
it. Yeah, it's I don't think I think like the other boys said, doesn't really do anything. I would say too unique. Maybe like, again, if you can get invested in the story, it might be something worth looking at. But I feel like within the genre and with the other types of games out there, I feel like you can find something better to play. So it's also a
Alright.
short game, so
All right.
don't play.
Lovely. So three try it's and a skip it for Happy's Humble Burger Farm. Yeah, that's our show. Good night. We have another episode. We've got we've this is not our first hurrah. This is our 9th.
10th.
Yeah,
10th.
10th.
Hurrah.
This is our
Whoa.
10th hurrah. We've done 10 games so far. Happy 10th anniversary. So we do one episode a month that we started in,
We started in
January.
April.
but we started recording and we started getting those episodes ready in
Yes,
January. So
we
we
have.
have 10 episodes already up. You can go check them out. Last time it was a different dystopian reality because it was a lot more lighter in tone. It was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, a fun game that's very much like Jet Set Radio. You can hear our thoughts on that. And then if you want to see us talk about another game that's more in the horror genre, kind of in the horror genre, Lethal Company, which we did back. It was our second episode.
And it's also an allegory for capitalism.
Allegory for capitalism, exactly. And it's all connected. So if you want to see that, you can check that out. Next episode coming up. If you haven't seen our episode, like
Game selection video.
Game selection video, you can see our next episode is Bear and Breakfast. Game selected by Seshan. It's Stardew Valley like, and it's not a horror game, so Delanta's excited to play.
Yeah.
And usually
Until next October.
All right, so that's our show. Drive safe, folks. Thank you very much for watching.
Eat burgers.
Eat
And
burgers.
Be sure to like
have
and
a-
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Happy humble time.